Have you ever noticed how nobody really talks about people who hate sports? Think about it everywhere you look. Sports are celebrated, hyped, and treated like the ultimate social glue. From football games to basketball playoffs, everyone seems obsessed, cheering loudly. And yet, there's a quiet group of people who feel completely disconnected from all this frenzy. And that's exactly what we're going to uncover today on Mind in Shadow. Before we dive in, if you're curious about why your brain reacts the way it does and want more psychological insights that flip your perspective, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, because what you're about to hear might change how you see yourself and the people around you. Now, imagine sitting in a room full of friends. Everyone talking about last night's game, the excitement in the air, and you feel nothing. Not 1 ounce of thrill, that emptiness, that sense of being out of sync. ISNT, laziness, or indifference. Your brain sending signals about how it processes reward, attention, and social cues. Psychologists have found that people who dislike sports often have a completely different dopamine response. Now, most fans experience a rush, a spike of pleasure when their team scores. Now, people who hate sports get little to no reward, sometimes even stress or discomfort. This ISNT about being antisocial or boring, it's literally a wiring difference in how their mind interprets action, competition, and social expectation. But there's more. This disconnect isn't just neurological, it's deeply emotional and psychological. Studies show that many non-sports fans have heightened sensitivity to emotional pressure. Think about those moments when a whole room is screaming over a last-minute goal. You feel anxious instead of excited. Your mind is picking up on group intensity, tension, and expectations in a way that's overwhelming rather than exhilarating. It's like your brain is saying, I don't need this chaos to feel alive, and that's completely valid. Here's where it gets even more interesting. The psychology behind hating sports often ties into personality traits like introversion, analytical thinking, or high conscientiousness. These individuals prioritize their own internal goals over external hype. Where a fan sees entertainment, they see noise, distraction, and sometimes even manipulation of attention. And yes, there's a social side too. People who dislike sports are often misunderstood. They're labeled as outsiders, unpatriotic, or socially awkward. But in reality, their social brains are just tuned differently. They thrive in environments where focus, reflection, and meaningful interaction matter more than shared emotional frenzy. It's not just preference, it's identity. And that identity is surprisingly common. Some research even suggests that the number of people who are indifferent or averse to sports is increasing in modern society, as interests diversify and traditional social pressures lose dominance. But here's the twist. These individuals aren't missing out on anything, just gaining something else. They may have stronger problem-solving skills, more creative outlets, or deeper emotional intelligence. While the sports world celebrates fleeting highs and lows, non-fans often experience sustained satisfaction from activities that align with their cognitive and emotional patterns. So next time you meet someone who says, I don't care about sports, don't think they're antisocial or dull. Think about how their brain navigates the world differently, how they seek fulfillment in ways that mainstream culture doesn't even notice. And this is the part most people overlook. The psychology of disliking sports teaches us about the human mind, about social conformity, and about the courage to resist the current just to honor your own mental patterns. It's fascinating because it forces us to question why we do what we do and how much of our passion is real versus socially conditioned. And speaking of social influence, there's a hidden benefit to being a non-fan. Freedom. Freedom from pressure, from overconsumption, from unnecessary stress. While millions experience collective highs and lows dictated by scores, non-fans maintain a consistent emotional baseline. That's resilience in disguise. It may seem boring from the outside, but psychologically it's remarkable. Mind in here. It's the part that really blows most minds. Some studies suggest that these individuals often have better long-term satisfaction. Because their pleasure isn't dependent on external, unpredictable events, they create it themselves. In other words, while sports captivate the masses, non-fans cultivate mastery over their own attention, emotions, and goals. This is why understanding the psychology of sports aversion, ES&T, just an interesting curiosity, ESA lens into the human mind itself, revealing how diverse mental wiring can shape life, happiness, and social interaction. And if you're still watching, I want you to take a moment and reflect. Are you secretly one of these non-fans, or do you know someone like this? Share your thoughts in the comments, because the stories and experiences of people who resist mainstream hype are more common than most realize. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more content from Mind in Shadow. Guess we dive deep into the hidden patterns of the mind, exploring truths that few dare to discuss. Finally, the next time someone mocks your disinterest in sports, remember, your brain is just wired differently, and there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it might just be your superpower, shaping a life of focus, calm, and authenticity in a world obsessed with highs and lows. So comment below, share this with someone who's always been misunderstood in social settings. And let's start a conversation about the invisible psychology that surrounds us all. The secrets our brains keep, and the courage it takes to honor your own mind in a society obsessed with conformity. Your mind is unique, and whether you love sports or hate them, understanding the why behind your preferences is the first step toward mastering yourself.